The second aspect is personal spiritual development. Personal spiritual development. In personal spiritual development, time is the biggest factor. It's not like we don't want to grow spiritually, but time is the biggest factor. And personal spiritual time is different than ministry time. Right? Sometimes we can, in the busyness of ministry, we can pass off ministry time as, well, the Lord was speaking to me during that time, and that's probably true. But we have to, in our minds, have a separation between the two. Come back to Mark chapter 6 where we were, and at the end of that story in verse 42, and they all ate and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces and of fish, and those who ate the loaves were 5,000 men. So they were tired and they wanted to eat, and they came for rest, but that didn't happen. There were 5,000 men and other women and children there, and they went through this whole process where Jesus taught them to the point that the listeners were now hungry, and they fed them. 5,000 men, they fed all of them. And then not only was that done, they had to gather up. You know, after you host a party, the others go home, but you've got to clean up. So the disciples were cleaning up, and now they're exhausted. What does Jesus do then? Does Jesus say, okay, now you guys have done so much ministry, let's all go take a nap? Look at what he did. In verse 45, immediately he made his disciples get into a boat and go before him to the other side to Bethsaida, while he dismissed the crowd. And after he had taken leave of them, he went up on a mountain to pray. The spiritual time that he didn't have during the ministry time, he made up later. Ministry has to flow from spiritual growth, and it cannot be substituted. Spiritual growth cannot be substituted by ministry time. In fact, ministry time should be proportional to spiritual growth. Otherwise, we will be giving what we have not received. And if we do that, we are working on our own ability. We need to receive from God so that we can give in our ministries.